There's a truth about life that most people never fully grasp. Time is not an unlimited resource. We don't have the luxury of waiting. Every moment you spend hesitating, every second you waste thinking about what you might do, is a second you'll never get back. Your dreams, your ambitions, the life you were meant to create, every single thing that could define your future, is on the other side of that one decision, to act. Imagine this. You wake up one day standing on the edge of a cliff, looking out over a vast horizon. The path to greatness lies before you, but here is a catch. You can only get there by jumping. You can't stand there forever. You can't afford to think about whether the leap is too big, or if the ground will be soft enough to catch you. You need to jump now, because time is the one thing that won't wait for you. So, what's stopping you? Fear, doubt, overthinking, the voice in your head that tells you it's not the right time, that maybe you should just wait a little longer. But let me ask you this. What if the right time never comes? What if you keep waiting, and one day the years have passed, and you realize you're still standing on that same cliff, paralyzed by fear, while others have already soared past you? This is where most people stay. They talk about success. They dream about their future. They wish for more. But the difference between those who succeed and those who simply dream is simple: action. People who succeed don't sit around waiting for the perfect moment. They take the leap. They act like their life depends on it, because it does. Action is the key that unlocks everything. Without it, you remain stuck in the same place, circling around your goals, never moving forward. Every great person you admire, the innovators, the disruptors, the game changers, they didn't wait for motivation. They didn't wait for permission. They acted. They took that leap of faith. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He failed thousands of times, thousands. Before he invented the light bulb, most people would have given up after the first 100 failures, or maybe the 1,000th. But not Edison. He acted in spite of the failures. He knew something that others didn't. Failure was just data. It wasn't the end, but part of the process. And because he acted when others were afraid to fail, he changed the world forever. Now, let's talk about you. You've got dreams, right? Big ones. The kind of dreams that could change your life. But here is the catch. Dreams don't come true by themselves. You have to wake up from the dream and turn it into a plan. The first step in that plan is action. You need to treat every single day like it's your only chance to make something happen. No more waiting. No more wishing. Act like your life depends on it, because here's the reality. It does. The difference between you and the person you want to become, it isn't talent. It isn't luck. It isn't connections. It's your ability to take action when others hesitate. It's your commitment to moving forward, no matter how small those steps may seem. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to start. When you take that first step, when you move past the fear and doubt, you'll feel something amazing happen. Momentum. Once you start moving, things start aligning. Opportunities appear. Connections are made. Ideas that were once out of reach start to feel within your grasp. But here's the thing. You can't wait for the momentum to come before you act. That's like waiting for the wind to blow before you set sail. You have to start by setting the sails, and then let the wind catch you. Act first, and the universe will move with you. Are you going to let fear stop you? Are you going to keep letting the what-ifs hold you back? Or are you going to act like your life depends on it? Because the truth is, it does. Every time you hesitate, every time you let fear make the decision for you, you give away a piece of your future. But every time you act, every time you push through the uncertainty, you claim that future for yourself. You begin to carve your own path. And in doing so, you start to create a life that others only dream of. Do it now. If you wait for the perfect time, you'll be waiting forever. The time is now. Don't let fear control you. Action is the antidote to fear. Every step you take is a step closer to the life you've always imagined. And once you start moving, there's no stopping you. You have everything you need right now. What's stopping you? Action isn't about having all the answers. It's about having the courage to take the first step, knowing that the answers will come along the way. It's about believing in yourself enough to move, even when everything inside you screams to stop. So take action, like your life depends on it. This isn't a drill. This is it. Your time is now. Your dreams are waiting, but they'll never be real unless you decide to take action. Your success is waiting, but it's only going to come when you make the choice to act. Get up, move forward. Take action like your life depends on it. Have you ever wondered why some people make their dreams happen, while others never seem to get past their thoughts? It's not about intellect. It's not about talent. It's about one thing: the courage to act. You've heard the stories. The underdog who rises above the odds, the person who, against all expectations, becomes a success. What do they have that you don't? It's simple. They act. You've been waiting. You've been thinking. You've been researching. But here's the brutal truth. The world does not reward thinking, it rewards doing. Take a moment to think about this. What if all that you've been waiting for, the perfect circumstances, the perfect moment, the right sign from the universe, doesn't exist? What if that sign is already here, right in front of you? The sign is you deciding to take action. The universe doesn't need to give you a go ahead. You're the one who has to give yourself permission to move. And guess what? You already have permission. You've always had it. When you make the decision to act, everything begins to change. It's like opening the floodgates to possibility. But here is the key. You need to open those gates. Nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody will come and hand you success. Success is claimed, not granted. Look at the greats of history, the ones who shifted the world. Think of Elon Musk, who defied convention and built multiple companies from scratch. Or Steve Jobs, who didn't just create a company, but a movement that changed the way we live, think, and work. They didn't wait for permission. They acted like their lives depended on it. They acted as if failure wasn't an option. They built momentum even when the world didn't believe in them. Do you know why? Because they understood one fundamental truth. Action breeds confidence, and confidence breeds results. Success doesn't arrive at your doorstep. You have to chase it down, tackle it, and drag it into your life. So, why are you still standing still? Why are you waiting for something outside of yourself to change? It's time to stop looking for external validation. It's time to stop hoping that the circumstances will align perfectly, because they never will. When you act, you take control. You stop being at the mercy of circumstances, and start shaping your reality. You become the creator, not the victim. There's power in movement, power in decision. The moment you decide, you give your mind a direction, and where the mind leads, the body follows. Your mind is a powerful tool. It's the greatest weapon you have, but too many people let it lead them into inaction, into paralysis. They think and think and think, but never do. You can't think your way to success. You have to act your way to it. Now, I know what you are thinking, but what if I fail? Let me tell you something about failure. It's not the opposite of success, it's part of the process. Failure is simply feedback. It tells you that you're moving. It tells you that you're trying, and that's more than most people can say. Think of a young child learning to walk. How many times does he fall before he gets it right? Do you think he stops after the first failure? No, he gets back up, again and again, until the act of walking becomes second nature. And the same is true for you. Every failure is a step closer to your success. Failure isn't fatal unless you choose to stop trying. So, ask yourself, are you going to let a little setback stop you? Or are you going to let it fuel your fire? Are you going to rise stronger than before? The truth is, you're the only one standing in your way. Not your boss, not your circumstances, not your past mistakes. You are the one who can break free from the cycle of inaction. But first, you must choose to act. You must choose to rise above the noise, above the distractions, above the excuses. You must choose to act like your life depends on it. Because, in reality, it does. Think about it. What's your life going to look like 10 years from now if you continue to hesitate? What kind of future will you have if you keep waiting for the stars to align? The truth is, the future doesn't wait for anyone. It moves forward, and so should you. Do you want to look back and regret all the opportunities you let slip by because you were too afraid to act? Or do you want to look back and know that you gave it everything you had? That you made decisions with purpose and conviction? That you moved forward? No matter what. You have everything you need to succeed right now. It's in your hands. The key to unlocking your future is in your next decision. So, what are you going to do? Will you continue to sit on the sidelines, waiting for life to come to you? Or will you take action, like your life depends on it? Because, here's the harsh truth. If you don't act, life will pass you by. But if you do, if you act boldly, with purpose, and without hesitation, you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. Now is the time. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now, take the first step. Don't look back, and keep moving forward. The life you want is waiting for you on the other side of that first decision. Every step you take, no matter how small, sends a message to the universe. I am here. I am ready. I will not wait any longer. We are all familiar with the moments of doubt. The moments when your inner voice whispers, what if it's too late? Or what if I fail? And every single time that voice speaks, you have a choice. You can either listen to it, let it keep you stagnant, or you can turn the volume down and choose to move, even in the face of uncertainty. Action is the loudest reply to doubt. Remember, every great achievement begins with the courage to make one bold decision. You are one decision away from changing everything. One decision, one choice to act, despite your fear, despite the unknown. Look at the lives of those who've made it. Every single one of them had to make the same decision. They faced the same doubts, the same fears, yet they chose to act. They moved in the face of uncertainty. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They created the perfect moment by stepping into the unknown. Don't wait for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. The conditions will never be ideal. The world will never hand you an invitation to greatness. You have to claim it for yourself, and the moment you step forward, the universe will start to move with you. Take a second to think about the powerful people in your life, the ones you admire most. Do they hesitate? Do they spend hours overthinking every decision, paralyzed by the potential consequences? Number they act. They step forward with confidence, even when the outcome is unclear. They don't wait for things to line up perfectly. They trust that by moving, they create their own destiny. Think about an entrepreneur at the start of their journey. They don't know all the answers, but they know one thing. They can't succeed if they don't move. They take the leap, they start building. And as they do, the path becomes clearer. The decisions they make don't need to be perfect. They just need to be made. Each decision, each step, brings them closer to the life they envision. But let's talk about what happens when you don't act. You remain stagnant. You remain stuck in the same loop of frustration, waiting for an external change that may never come. The world won't suddenly present you with the perfect opportunity. You have to create that opportunity by taking action. And if you don't act, you'll find yourself a decade from now, wishing you'd started today. So, what are you waiting for? Every second that ticks by is a second you'll never get back. Every opportunity you let pass, every decision you don't make is a lost moment in time. But you can reclaim those moments right now, right this second. Acting like your life depends on it isn't just a metaphor. It's the truth. You are building your future every moment of every day. Each decision you make now shapes the person you will become. Don't underestimate the power of small actions. They might seem insignificant in the moment, but compound them over time, and they lead to massive change. The smallest of steps can lead to the most monumental outcomes. Think about the process of mastering a skill. The first time you attempt it, it feels uncomfortable. The first time you try something new, you stumble. But that's the point. The point is that you don't stop. Every misstep is a lesson. Every moment of discomfort is a sign that you're moving forward, that you're evolving. The people who succeed aren't the ones who have never failed. They're the ones who have failed the most, but never stopped moving. Imagine a sculptor carving a masterpiece. They don't start with the perfect sculpture in their mind. They start with a block of stone and the courage to chip away at it. Each chip is an action, and over time the masterpiece begins to take shape. You are the sculptor of your life, and the actions you take are the chisel. You can create anything. Your dream life, your business, your success, your fulfillment. It's all built from the actions you take today. It all starts with that first chip, that first step forward. And let's be clear, when you act, you're not just changing your own life. You're sending a ripple through the world. Every action you take creates a wave that impacts the people around you, the lives you touch, the work you do. Your actions inspire others to act. Your energy becomes contagious. People want to be around you because they see someone who is moving forward, someone who is unstoppable. But if you don't act, you'll become like everyone else, stuck in the same cycle, living in mediocrity, wondering what could have been. The world doesn't remember those who stand still. It remembers those who dared to move, to change, to grow. Will you be remembered? The truth is, if you want to lead a life of greatness, you have to get comfortable with discomfort. You have to embrace the unknown. You have to act even when you're scared, because that's when the magic happens. That's when you learn that you are stronger than you ever thought you were. And the more you act, the more you'll realize that the life you've been dreaming of is already within your reach. But you have to take the first step. Don't let another moment slip by. You have the power to decide what your life will look like. Will you act now, or will you wait another day? Now is your moment. Act like your life depends on it. Let's face the truth. There's no magic formula for success. No secret that only a few have access to. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be lies in one simple action. The decision to act. Every single person who has ever achieved greatness, every person who's carved their name into the history books, started by making a choice to act, not later, not when everything's perfect. They chose to act now. Think of the world's greatest innovators. Elon Musk didn't wait for the stars to align before launching SpaceX. Steve Jobs didn't wait for Apple to be perfect before launching it to the world. No one who has ever moved mountains did so by sitting still. They acted boldly, in the face of fear, doubt, and the unknown. What are you waiting for? Are you going to let your fears, your doubts, and the world's opinions dictate your future? Or are you going to choose to act, knowing that each step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to the life you've always dreamed of? It's time to stop asking for permission. You already have permission. You have the tools, the skills, and the capability to build the life you want. The only thing standing in your way is the fear of failure. But guess what? Failure is the fuel of success. Every time you fail, you learn. Every time you stumble, you get back up stronger. It's the people who keep getting up, who keep moving forward despite the setbacks, that win in the end. The winners of this world don't stop at the first hurdle. They don't look at a challenge and think, maybe this is too much. They look at it and say, let's do this. Look at your own life for a moment. Think about the times you've been stuck, caught in the web of procrastination. How many times have you looked at a task and thought, I'll start tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes, and you're still stuck in the same cycle, waiting for something to change, waiting for a sign. That sign is already here. That sign is you deciding that enough is enough. That sign is you taking the first step, even when you don't feel ready. You're never going to feel ready. The perfect moment will never come, because it's always up to you to create it. Every great moment starts with a decision, a commitment to act regardless of how ready you feel. Think about a time when you faced a difficult decision in your life. What was the moment that made everything click? It wasn't the waiting. It wasn't the planning. It was the moment you acted. The moment you made a decision and committed to seeing it through, no matter the obstacles. That's where the power lies. In the act of making a decision and taking the first step. And let me remind you of something important. Progress doesn't require perfection. It just requires action. Don't wait for everything to be perfectly aligned. You don't need to know every single step ahead of time. You just need to start. The clarity comes along the way. The road will reveal itself as you keep moving. Just keep moving. When you take that first step, when you commit to action, everything starts to shift. You start to see opportunities you never saw before. You start to meet people who will help you along the way. You start to grow in ways you never imagined. But only if you take the first step. Only if you act. You may feel uncertain. You may feel like you don't have all the resources you need. But let me tell you something. You don't need everything to get started. You only need yourself. You have the most powerful tool in the world, your ability to take action. And once you use that tool, everything else will follow. Imagine if the most successful people in the world had waited. What if they sat back and waited for the perfect opportunity? They would still be waiting. The only reason they're where they are now is because they chose to act. It's your time now. The world is waiting for you to make that choice. The question is, will you take action like your life depends on it? Because the truth is, it does. Every second you spend overthinking, every minute you waste hesitating, is a minute you'll never get back. Your dreams are waiting for you, but they're not going to wait forever. You have to take that leap, even if it scares you. Imagine your future self, the person who took action. What will they say to you? Will they thank you for taking that first step? Or will they regret not acting sooner? Will they wish they'd made the choice to move forward instead of waiting? This is your moment. This is the moment you decide your future. The person you want to become. The life you want to live. It all begins now. Take that first step. Don't wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow may never come. Act like your life depends on it. Think about what happens when you make that decision to move. It's not just about reaching a goal. It's not just about crossing the finish line. It's about who you become in the process. Every time you act, you are shaping your identity. You are telling yourself that you are capable, that you are strong, that you are worthy of the success you desire. Action isn't just a tool, it's a mirror, reflecting back to you the person you're becoming. And let me tell you something about that person. The one who takes action. They don't just go through life waiting for things to happen. They create opportunities. They make things happen. They shape their destiny. That person doesn't need permission. They don't need the world's approval. They don't need the perfect circumstances. They know their worth, and they take action because of it. So let me ask you this. How many times have you stood at the edge, looking at something you wanted to achieve, and talked yourself out of it? How many times have you let fear hold you back, or let doubt convince you that you weren't good enough? Every time you do that, you give up a piece of yourself. Every time you let fear decide your actions, you let it control your future. But that doesn't have to be your reality anymore. You can make the choice to act now. You can choose to break free from the chains of fear and doubt, and step into the power that lies dormant inside of you. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need anyone's validation. The only thing you need is the decision to take action. Remember, success isn't for the lucky few. It's for those who choose to act. It's for those who see the obstacles in front of them and don't turn around, but keep moving forward. It's for those who face uncertainty and decide to make their own path. Think about the people who inspire you, the ones who've changed the world. What do they all have in common? They didn't wait. They acted. They pushed through the barriers, they fought against the odds, and they made their dreams a reality. And they did it because they decided that success wasn't something that would come to them, but something they would create. You are no different. The same power that lies in the hands of those who changed history is in your hands right now. You are capable. But to unlock that power, you have to make the decision to act. And when you act, everything starts to change. What would happen if you stopped hesitating? What if you stopped overthinking? What if you just started? You don't need to know how the story ends. You just need to write the first chapter. Once you take that first step, you'll be amazed at how things begin to unfold. Opportunities will appear. People will show up who can help you. Ideas will come to you in ways you never imagined. But none of that happens until you take that first step. Every successful person you admire faced a choice. They could have waited. They could have hesitated. But they didn't. They acted. And you can too. It's time to leave behind the comfort of waiting. It's time to let go of the fear of making the wrong decision. Because the only wrong decision is doing nothing. The only real failure is inaction. It's the one thing that guarantees you'll never reach your full potential. So, what's your next move? Are you going to keep letting the clock tick by, letting your dreams stay on the shelf? Or are you going to take action? Right now, in this moment, are you going to act like your life depends on it? Because the truth is, it does. Every moment you spend thinking about what you could do, every second you waste wondering if you're good enough, is a moment you'll never get back. You can't afford to wait any longer. You can't afford to stay where you are. The person you want to become, the successful, confident, powerful version of yourself, is waiting on the other side of this decision. The decision to act. So, take action, make the choice, move forward with confidence, and don't look back. Your future self will thank you for it. Because in the end, the only thing that will matter is whether you took the chance. Whether you made the decision to step into the life you deserve. And that decision is yours to make. You know what separates those who succeed from those who don't. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not even the knowledge they have. The difference is their willingness to act when it matters most. When the fear is the loudest, when the doubt is the strongest, that's when they decide to move. You have to ask yourself, what are you waiting for? There's no magic moment. No secret sign from the universe. The time is now. Every single day you wait is a day you'll never get back. And every day you spend not acting is a day you allow your dreams to slip further away. You're building your life, your future, right now. It's happening. But what are you building it on? Are you building it on hesitation, on uncertainty, on fear? Or are you building it on courage, on action, on the certainty that you can create your own path? When you act, you take control, you shape your life. And let me tell you something. There is power in that. When you take action, no matter how small, it is a signal to yourself and the universe that you're serious, that you are ready, that you are no longer waiting for permission or the perfect moment you're here to create. There are millions of people out there who wish for success. They wish for change. They wish for a better life. But wishing isn't enough. You have to do. Success comes from taking action, not from waiting for the right moment, not from hoping things will magically work out. It comes from the relentless pursuit of your dreams, one action at a time. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you've got to move beyond what's comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of progress. You need to embrace the discomfort, the uncertainty, the unknown, because that's where growth happens. That's where your future is built. Think about it. Every time you've been in a difficult situation, every time you faced a challenge, what was the one thing that made the difference? The ability to act in the face of it. When everything seems uncertain, when you don't have all the answers, your action becomes the answer. Action is what pushes the needle forward. It's what turns your dreams into reality. But here's the kicker. If you don't act now, you'll find yourself stuck. Stuck in the same place, living the same day over and over again, asking yourself why things aren't changing. The reason is simple. You didn't take action. Take a look at the world around you. How many people are stuck in their daily routines, living lives of quiet desperation? They dream, they wish, they hope, but they never act. They're waiting for something to change before they make a move, and it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Change doesn't come from waiting. It comes from doing. Now is your time to stand up, to make the choice, and to act. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now think about the people who inspire you most, the ones who've created change, who've built empires, who've achieved greatness. They weren't born with a secret gift. They weren't handed success on a silver platter. They had to fight for it. They had to decide at some point to take action. They acted when others hesitated. They pushed through when others gave up. And that made all the difference. You're no different. Your future is just as bright. Your potential is just as limitless. But it all comes down to one thing, the decision to act. Now, I know it's easy to get caught up in the what ifs. What if I fail? What if I make the wrong decision? What if it doesn't work out? But here's the thing. You're never going to have all the answers. You're never going to have the perfect plan. And that's okay. The only thing that matters is that you take action. Action is the antidote to fear. It's the answer to doubt. It's the cure for indecision. When you act, you're telling the world, and yourself, that you believe in your ability to succeed. You're saying, I'm not waiting any longer. I'm going for it. And that's when the magic happens. It doesn't matter how big or small your actions are. It doesn't matter if they're perfect or imperfect. What matters is that you're moving. Every small step leads to something bigger. Every action you take creates momentum. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. But it all starts now. It starts with you deciding that you're going to act, no matter how scared you are, no matter how uncertain the path may seem. When you look at the challenges in your life, don't focus on the obstacles. Don't focus on what could go wrong. Focus on what you can do right now to move forward. Focus on the one thing you can control, the decision to take action. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is that you start. The rest will follow. So what are you going to do now? Are you going to sit back and wait for something to change? Or are you going to make the choice to act, to take control of your future, and to create the life you've always dreamed of? The time is now. Don't waste another second. Act like your life depends on it. You have a choice to make, a choice that will define everything that comes next. This is the moment when you stop pretending that you'll get around to it someday, that you'll start next week, or that the perfect conditions will suddenly appear. They won't. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time to begin. Life won't hand you the perfect set of circumstances to take that first step. You have to create those circumstances by moving first. Every person who has ever done something remarkable in life had to make that same choice. They had to choose to act, even when fear was at its peak, even when doubt was whispering in their ear, even when the outcome seemed uncertain. They didn't wait for things to be perfect. They just started. You think the ones who succeed are different from you. They're not. They don't have more time. They don't have a secret formula. They just have the ability to act. Every moment you hesitate is a moment lost forever. And time doesn't wait for anyone. It keeps moving, whether you choose to act or not. Inaction, my friend, is the biggest enemy of progress. You can't sit back and expect life to come to you. You have to go out and grab it. You may be asking yourself, what if I fail? Let me make something clear. Failure is not the end. Failure is not your enemy. In fact, failure is your greatest ally. Failure is the greatest teacher, and it teaches you one of the most important lessons of all, how to get up and keep going. Every person you admire, every person you look up to, they've failed, they've stumbled, they've fallen flat on their faces. But here's the thing, they didn't let it define them. They got up, and they kept going. What would happen if you started looking at failure as a stepping stone, not a roadblock? What if you stopped fearing failure, and instead embraced it as a part of the process? Every successful person has learned how to fail forward. They've learned that failure is simply a lesson in disguise. A lesson that brings them one step closer to their ultimate success. But you can't learn those lessons if you don't take action. You can't learn how to get better without first making the decision to begin. So, what are you waiting for? Success doesn't belong to the ones who think about it, the ones who wish for it, the ones who hope for it. Success belongs to the ones who act. Think about the future you want. Do you want to look back in 5 years, 10 years, and regret not starting today? Do you want to live in the what, ifs, and if-onless? Or do you want to look back and know that you went after what you wanted, no matter the obstacles? Do you want to know that you took every opportunity, that you refused to let fear hold you back? The choice is yours. But here's the thing. If you want to live the life you've always dreamed of, you have to act like it's already yours. You have to stop asking for permission. Stop waiting for the right moment. The right moment is now. Act. Act like your life depends on it. Act like this is your one shot at greatness. Because it is. The only way to fail is to do nothing. It's time to stop waiting. It's time to stop wishing. It's time to move. The world is filled with people who sit back and hope for things to change. But the world respects those who make things happen. The movers, the doers, the ones who refuse to let life pass them by. These are the people who achieve the impossible, who push the boundaries, and who ultimately leave a legacy. Will you be one of them, or will you wait? Will you continue to let life happen to you, or will you step into your power and make it happen for you? The moment you choose to act, you choose to create your own future. And that future, it's filled with possibility. You have everything you need to succeed. You have the power to choose your own path. You have the strength to move forward. All you need to do now is act. Act like your life depends on it. When you take action, you don't just move forward, you become unstoppable. Each step, each decision you make in the direction of your goals adds fuel to your momentum. That's the power of action. It builds momentum, and momentum builds success. When you start, you don't have to have it all figured out. The path becomes clearer as you walk it, and every action you take reveals more of the road ahead. But let's be real. The biggest barrier standing between you and success is you. The stories you tell yourself, the doubts you create in your mind, the excuses you let slide in as if they're valid reasons. These are the things holding you back. But what if you decided to stop listening to the voice that tells you, it's too hard, you're not good enough, or it's not the right time? What if instead, You embraced that voice and said, "You know what? I'm going to move forward anyway. I'm going to act even when I'm scared, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when I don't know how it will end." That's the mindset of the winner. Think about it. Every single person who has ever created something remarkable has had to push through self-doubt. They've had to act even when they didn't feel ready. Every time they thought about stopping, about giving up, they acted anyway. And that's the key. It's not about waiting for things to be perfect. It's about taking action, even when things aren't perfect, even when the world isn't handing you the answers you want. The people who succeed in this world are not the ones who wait for everything to align. They don't sit on the sidelines hoping for luck to strike. They're the ones who go out and make things happen. You see, the truth is, life is always going to have challenges. There will always be setbacks, but success isn't about avoiding the challenges. It's about learning how to push through them. It's about taking that first step even when you have no idea where it will lead, trusting that once you take it, the next step will reveal itself, and then the next, and the next. I need you to hear this. You are capable of far more than you realize. What you are waiting for is already inside of you. The person you need to be to achieve your dreams, to build the life you've always wanted. It's not some future version of you. It's the version of you that exists right now, the one who's ready to act. But you must make the decision. Every day you wait, you're delaying your own potential. Every hour you spend in hesitation, you're giving your power away. Your dreams are waiting for you to step into them. And let me make something clear. The world is not going to hand you anything. No one is going to give you permission to succeed. Success doesn't knock on your door and say, "Hey, I've been waiting for you. Here's everything you wanted." Success requires you to go out and get it. So what are you waiting for? I can tell you this. The only thing standing between where you are now and the future you want is action. Right now, you can either stay where you are and hope for something to change, or you can make the decision to act, to push yourself beyond your comfort zone, to create the future you want. Right now. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have every step planned. You just have to start. The path will reveal itself, but only after you take that first, vital step. I'm not asking you to wait for everything to be perfect. I'm asking you to act, even when it's not, because when you do, that's when the momentum starts building. That's when you start to see results. That's when everything starts to change. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The time to act is now. The moment you decide to act, the game changes. It no longer feels like you're swimming against the tide. It feels like you're riding it, controlling it, steering it exactly where you want to go. And the best part, the more you act, the more control you have. The more momentum you create, the faster your progress. You are the one in the driver's seat of your life. Every choice you make takes you closer to the life you desire. Every action, no matter how small, moves you forward. And that, my friend, is how greatness is built, one action at a time. So here it is. Once again, act like your life depends on it. Because it does. Now, let's talk about fear. Fear is the thing that stops most people from acting. It paralyzes them, fills them with doubt, makes them question their decisions, and convinces them that taking action is too risky. Fear convinces them that the risks are too high, that the consequences of failure are too great. But here's the thing about fear. It's a liar. Fear doesn't tell you the truth. It doesn't tell you that failure is just part of the process. It doesn't tell you that every step, every attempt, every single action gets you one step closer to success. Fear wants you to believe that you should stay in your safe little bubble, comfortable, but stagnant. Fear wants you to stand still, never moving forward, never growing. Because fear knows that once you start moving, you will realize it has no real power over you. You need to stop letting fear control your future. You need to embrace it. Not because you're afraid of it, but because you understand that it's not the enemy. It's the gateway to your growth. What happens when you face your fear? What happens when you walk straight into it and refuse to back down? You realize something incredible. It has no power over you. Think about it. You've been afraid of failure, right? But how many times has something you feared actually happened in the way you imagined? Probably never. Most of the time, the things we fear are just stories we've made up in our minds, stories that keep us from acting, from taking that first step. Every time you act, you defeat fear. Every time you choose to move forward, you prove that fear doesn't have the final say. Action is the antidote to fear. When you take action, you push fear to the back seat, and you put yourself in the driver's seat. Look at the lives of people who have done extraordinary things, whether it's athletes, entrepreneurs, or even historical figures. Every single one of them faced fear. But what did they do? They acted anyway. They chose to show up, even when the odds were stacked against them, even when they didn't know what the outcome would be. And because they acted, they created the lives they desired. So why aren't you? You have the same power. You have the ability to create change in your life. But that change won't come from thinking about it. It won't come from wishing for it. It comes from acting on it. It comes from making the choice to say, I will not wait any longer. I will not sit by and let life pass me by. I will act, because that's the only way anything will change. Fear doesn't want you to act. It wants you to stay stuck. But every time you act, every time you make the choice to move, you prove fear wrong. You show the world, and most importantly, yourself, that you're stronger than any obstacle, any setback, any doubt that comes your way. And here's what happens when you start taking action. Your world begins to change. Your opportunities multiply. You start meeting the people who will help you. You start creating the things you've always wanted, and you start making progress in ways you never thought possible. But this only happens when you choose to act. It doesn't happen when you stay still. It doesn't happen when you wait for the perfect moment or the perfect conditions. It happens when you make the decision to act. And here's the key to making it happen. You don't need everything figured out right now. You don't need to know exactly what the future holds. All you need is to make the decision to start. Action is the first step. The next step, keep moving. Every time you move, every time you take that step forward, you build momentum. You start building the life you want. You start attracting the things you desire. The first step is the hardest, but it's also the most important. So take that step. Do it now. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Your future depends on it. Every day you wait, you give away your power. Every day you hesitate, you lose time. And time, my friend, is the one thing you can never get back. Don't waste it. Don't waste this opportunity to create the life you want. A seat, like your life depends on it. Because in the end, it does. What is it that truly separates the dreamers from the achievers? It's not intelligence. It's not how much you know, how many resources you have, or how perfect your plans are. It's the willingness to act, regardless of the odds. It's the ability to decide that now is the time, and then to act with relentless confidence, even in the face of uncertainty. Think about that for a second. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to know all the details of your path ahead. The only thing that matters is that you start walking. Because when you start, you'll learn. When you act, you'll find clarity. But it all starts with that initial decision. The hardest part of any journey is always the first step. But that step is the one that will change everything. When you take it, you signal to the world, to yourself, and to the universe that you are serious. You're ready to make things happen. You're ready to take responsibility for your life. You're ready to take control. Don't wait for the world to change before you act. The world is waiting for you to change it. The world is waiting for you to decide that you are the one who will rise above, who will take action, and make something incredible happen. What if you took responsibility for your success? What if, instead of waiting for something outside yourself to push you, you realized that the only thing that needs to change is your decision to act? What if you stopped waiting for permission and just acted like you already have the right to succeed? The people who move the world, the visionaries, the creators, the change makers, they didn't sit around waiting for a sign. They didn't wait for the stars to align. They made things happen. They created their own momentum. They chose to act, even when things weren't perfect. And that is what led them to their success. You're no different. The only thing that's stopping you is the belief that you need everything to be perfect before you act. But let me tell you this, perfection is a myth. What you need is courage. Courage to take that first step. Courage to move forward, even when you don't have all the answers. Courage to push past the fear and the doubts that will inevitably show up. When you take action, you build trust in yourself. You build belief in yourself. And that belief becomes the foundation of your success. The more you act, the more you see that nothing is as scary as you thought. Think about the fear that holds you back. Fear of failure. Fear of making a mistake. But consider this. What's the worst that can happen? If you fail, so what? Failure is a lesson. It's feedback. Every successful person has faced failure, but they've all seen it for what it really is. A tool for growth. Failure is never the end. It's just part of the journey. So, here's the question. What's stopping you? Is it fear, doubt, lack of resources? Whatever it is, you have one powerful tool at your disposal. Action. Action trumps all excuses. Every single time. Action is what makes things happen. And once you get started, momentum will carry you. Once you act, opportunities start to open up. Ideas begin to flow. People appear in your life who will help you get to the next step. But it all begins with you choosing to act. The moment you take action, you're no longer waiting for life to happen to you. You're making life happen. The world responds to those who move with purpose. And when you move with purpose, the universe begins to align with your energy. You are creating your own reality, one decision at a time. Every step you take is another chance to prove to yourself that you're capable. Every small win is a building block for the next one. And the more you win, the more unstoppable you become. Don't waste another day wondering what might happen if you take action. Make it happen now. Take the step, move forward, and let everything else fall into place as you keep moving. Remember, your life doesn't change when you think about it. It changes when you act. It changes when you move. So, move. Now. Think about this. What does your future look like if you continue to sit on the sidelines, waiting for the perfect moment? What does your future look like if you keep delaying, keep procrastinating, keep putting things off? The truth is, it looks like the past. It looks like a continuation of today, with no progress, no growth, and no breakthroughs. You have to break that cycle. You have to disrupt the status quo by making a choice, by acting right now. Because, let me be clear, if you don't act now, you'll be stuck in the same place, waiting for something to change that will never come. Think about how many opportunities you've missed already, not because you weren't capable, but because you hesitated, because you waited for the right time, and that time never came. But here's the good news. It's not too late. It's never too late to start. It's never too late to choose action over inaction. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be is one decision: to take action. That's it. It's that simple. But you have to make the decision to stop waiting. You have to stop giving yourself excuses. You have to stop pretending that you're too busy, too tired, or too afraid. Because those are just stories you've been telling yourself to justify inaction. They're not real. Your future is waiting for you. But it's not waiting for you to sit back and think about it. It's waiting for you to take the first step. It's waiting for you to stop overthinking, stop doubting, and start doing. The life you want to live is waiting for you to act. And when you do act, something incredible happens. You create momentum. Momentum becomes your ally. When you start moving, you build energy, and the more you move, the more energy you generate, the more action you take, the more you will begin to see results. Every small step you take compounds into something bigger. Every action you take is a ripple that builds into a wave. Don't be afraid of that wave. Don't be afraid of what happens when you start making things happen, because that wave of momentum is your power. When you act, you create the world around you. You set the stage for your success. You attract the people, the opportunities, the resources that you need. But none of that comes until you take action. You can't wait for the perfect circumstances. You can't wait for the perfect conditions. They don't exist. What exists is your ability to act, regardless of the obstacles in front of you. The greatest people in history didn't wait for everything to line up before they acted. They acted in the face of uncertainty, and that's what you need to do too. Stop asking for permission. You don't need anyone's approval to pursue your dreams. You don't need the world to validate your goals. You just need to act. Act like your success is inevitable. Act like the life you want is already yours, and keep acting until it becomes your reality. So here it is again. Take action, like your life depends on it, because it does. Your dreams won't come true just because you think about them. They won't come true because you wait for the stars to align. Your dreams will come true when you make the decision to act, and then keep acting. Every day without fail. If you want a life that's different, a life that's extraordinary, then you must make the choice to act. Every decision you make today will shape your tomorrow. Every action you take today will move you closer to the life you're meant to live. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't look back. The future is waiting for you to step into it, to claim it. Take action, like your life depends on it. The most powerful force in your life is your decision to act. When you decide to act, you decide to change your life. The moment you act, you take control of your destiny. Every step you take builds your future. Every choice, every move forward, reinforces your belief that you are in charge. But let's get real for a second. It's not always going to be easy. There will be days when you feel drained, when the doubts creep in, when it seems easier to just stay where you are and keep dreaming. But that's when you need to act the most. That's when you need to push through and make the decision to move forward, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. Because those moments are the ones that define you. This is where success is built. Not on the easy days. Not when everything is going smoothly. Success is built on the days when you push yourself forward, even when it feels like you can't take another step. Success is built on the days when you decide to act, regardless of the circumstances. Every time you choose to act, you reinforce the belief in yourself. You show yourself that you are capable of more, and each small act of bravery adds to your confidence. The more you act, the more confident you become. The more you push forward, the easier it becomes to take that next step. Momentum builds. And soon, your life is being shaped by the decisions you've made. But you have to keep going. You can't stop at the first step. You can't stop when things get hard, or when the world around you seems to be pushing against you. Because the truth is, the world doesn't owe you success. The world doesn't owe you a smooth path. Success is earned by those who keep going when the road gets tough. That's you. That's the power you hold. When you act, you stop waiting for things to happen. You make things happen. You step into your power, and the universe has no choice but to respond. But the universe can't respond if you're still standing still, waiting for something to change. It's not going to knock on your door and hand you your dreams. You have to go out there and take them. It's time to step up and step into your own greatness. No one else is going to do it for you. No one else is going to give you permission. You have to claim it for yourself. The time to act is now. Think about it. Where would you be in 5 years if you started acting today? Where would you be if every single day you made a conscious choice to act in pursuit of your dreams? You'd be so much further along than you are now. The progress you'd have made, the opportunities you'd have created, the momentum you'd have built, it's all waiting for you right now. But only if you take that first step. Only if you choose to act, no matter how difficult, no matter how uncertain. If you want a different future, you have to act like it's already yours. Now is your time. Every second that ticks by is a second you can never get back. And the moment you realize that time is the most valuable resource you have, is the moment you realize the only thing that matters is what you do with it. What will you do with today? Will you let another day slip by, or will you choose to act? The decision is yours. The moment is now. Take that step. Move forward. Take action. Like your life depends on it. Do you realize what you are capable of? The sheer power you hold in your hands right now. Your future is not a distant dream. It's something you create with every decision you make today. Right now, you are the architect of your own life. You have the power to shape your destiny, to design the future you want. But that power only comes to life when you choose to act. Every successful person, every game changer, every person who has made a mark on this world, did so because they took action. They didn't sit back and wait for life to hand them what they wanted. They went out and got it. And you are no different. Think about it, you have everything you need to succeed right now. The tools, the resources, the drive, it's all inside you. What you're missing is the decision to act. The decision to stop waiting, stop planning, and start doing. Because when you decide to take action, everything changes. Action is the force that transforms thoughts into reality. Every idea, every vision, every dream becomes tangible when you take action. But it doesn't happen when you sit back and think about it. It happens when you start doing. When you step into the unknown, embrace the discomfort, and move forward, even when you can't see the full path ahead. Do you know why action is so powerful? Because it has an energy all its own. It creates its own momentum. The more you act, the more you see results. The more you move, the more things start falling into place. And it all begins with the courage to take that first step. It's time to face the truth. The world won't wait for you. The world doesn't owe you success. It doesn't owe you anything. But the world does respond to those who move with intention. It responds to those who decide to act, even when the odds are stacked against them. It responds to those who make the commitment to take that first step, no matter how scary it might be. That's the power you have. You can decide today to act. You can decide right now that your future is worth fighting for. You can decide once and for all that you're no longer going to wait for the right moment. You're going to create that moment now. Here's the most important thing I want you to understand. You will never feel 100% ready. You will never have all the answers. The path will never be perfectly laid out for you, but you don't need perfection. You don't need everything figured out. You just need to start. The rest will follow. The act of doing is where the magic happens. It's where you find clarity. It's where you unlock your potential. It's where the universe aligns with your energy and begins to open doors you never knew existed. But none of that happens unless you take the first step. So, here's the real question. What are you waiting for? Are you going to keep waiting for permission? Are you going to keep waiting for the stars to align? Or are you going to make your own destiny? Are you going to act like your life depends on it? Because the truth is, it does. Every single day you wait is another day lost. Another day of missed opportunities. Another day of not living up to your true potential. But the moment you decide to act, the moment you take action, you take back control. You claim your future. You claim your success. You claim the life you want to live. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Act now. Like your life depends on it. You have everything you need. The only thing standing in your way is your own decision to act. And once you make that decision, everything changes. Do you understand how critical this moment is? Right now is where everything begins. Your future is unfolding in front of you. It's happening, even as you read these words. And the most incredible thing is, you are in the driver's seat. Think about your life in 5 years. What will you have accomplished? What kind of person will you have become? Will you have made progress toward your dreams? Or will you be stuck in the same place you are today, looking back and wondering why you didn't start sooner? The only thing standing between you and that future you want is action. Right now, you have a choice. You have a choice to make the decision to move forward, to act, and to transform your life. But that choice is yours alone. No one else can make it for you. You are the only one who can decide to stop waiting and start doing. And let me tell you something. Waiting gets you nowhere. Waiting keeps you stuck in the same place, day after day, thinking about what could be. But the moment you decide to act, that's when everything begins to shift. That's when you start moving toward the life you've always imagined. You are not bound by your circumstances. You are not defined by where you've been, or the mistakes you've made in the past. You are defined by the choices you make today. Action is the defining factor. Every time you take action, you send a message to your brain, to your body, to the universe. I am serious. I am capable. I am willing to do whatever it takes to make my dreams a reality. And the more you act, the more that message becomes a part of who you are. But it starts now, not tomorrow, not next week. Today. What are you waiting for? You have all the power you need to make today count. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the conditions to align perfectly. There will never be a perfect moment. The only perfect moment is the one you create when you choose to act. Right now, think about the times in your life when you made big decisions. What did you do first? You acted even when you were scared. Even when you weren't sure how it would turn out. You acted. And that action led to growth, to change, to progress. So ask yourself, what action will you take today? What's the one thing you can do right now that will move you closer to the person you want to become? Do it. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Your life depends on it. You have everything you need to succeed. The only thing missing is your decision to take action. Because here's the secret. You don't need permission. You don't need to wait for someone to tell you. It's okay. You are the one who decides. And once you make that decision, once you act, everything else will fall into place. So here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. The time to act is now. Make the decision. Take that first step, and start creating the life you were meant to live. You see, we often underestimate the power of small actions. We think that we need to do something monumental, something huge, to make a difference in our lives. But that's a lie. The truth is, success is built on the consistency of small steps. It's built on the daily decisions to act, to move forward, even when the steps are small, even when the progress feels slow. Consistency is what separates those who achieve from those who wish. Every step you take compounds. Every single decision to move, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is a building block for your future. And when you stack those small steps over time, you create momentum. And when momentum kicks in, the doors of opportunity start to open. But it all begins with action. It doesn't matter how far you have to go. What matters is that you start, right now, with the determination to take that first step. The distance between where you are and where you want to be is nothing but a series of decisions to act. That's it. Simple. But not easy. Success doesn't belong to the lucky, to the privileged, or to the ones with the best circumstances. Success belongs to those who keep moving forward no matter the obstacles. It belongs to those who decide to act, to those who decide to get up and do something about their dreams. Right now, you have everything you need to create success. You have the desire, you have the potential, and now you need to act. That's the missing piece. It doesn't matter if you don't have all the answers. It doesn't matter if you don't know exactly how things will unfold. What matters is that you act. Once you take that first step, the next one will appear, and the next. And soon, you'll find yourself on a path you never imagined, doing things you never thought possible. But it starts with that one decision. The decision to act, right now. Think of all the times in life when you hesitated, the moments when you doubted yourself and wondered if you should wait just a little longer. Now think of the things you could have achieved if you had acted sooner. The opportunities you missed, the growth you could have experienced. That's the cost of inaction. The truth is you can't afford to wait any longer. Every day that passes is another day you'll never get back. And when you look back 5 or 10 years from now, what will you have to show for it? Will you look back and regret not taking action when you had the chance? Or will you look back and know that you took control of your life, that you acted, that you moved forward, even when the odds were against you? That's the difference. Right now, you have a choice. You can choose to keep waiting, to keep making excuses, to keep putting things off, or you can choose to act. You can choose to stop being a passenger in your own life and take the wheel. You can choose to drive toward the future you want, one step at a time. Action is the antidote to regret. It's the cure for doubt. It's the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And the best part is, you don't need to wait for anyone else to give you permission to cross that bridge. Take action. Act like your life depends on it. Because, in reality, it does. At this very moment, you are standing at the crossroads of your future. One road leads to the same life you've been living, a life of inaction, hesitation, and uncertainty. The other road leads to your greatness, your potential, your dreams. But here's the catch. Only one thing will determine which road you take: the decision to act. Action is what will carry you forward. It is what will push you to places you've only dreamed about. It's what will allow you to transform every fear, every doubt, every setback into fuel for your growth. But you have to take the first step. You have to choose to move. It's easy to stay where you are. It's comfortable. But comfort won't get you closer to your goals. Comfort won't create the future you want. Action will. Think about the times in your life when you've looked back and wished you had acted sooner. Maybe it was starting a new business. Maybe it was asking for a promotion. Or maybe it was pursuing your passion. In those moments, you were faced with a choice, to act or to stay in your comfort zone. And when you didn't act, you held yourself back. You delayed your own success, but not anymore. Because today, right now, you are making the choice to act. You are deciding that your future will not be determined by what you didn't do. It will be determined by what you choose to do today. It's time to stop waiting for a sign. The sign is you. The universe isn't going to send you an invitation to start moving. You are your own invitation. Think about the most successful people in history. The innovators, the entrepreneurs, the world changers. What did they have that you don't? Nothing. They had the same potential, the same doubts, the same fears. But what they had that you need right now is this: they acted. The world rewards those who act. The world rewards those who show up and make things happen. And today, that person is going to be you. The life you want to create. It starts now. The opportunity you've been waiting for. It's here. You don't need to wait for the perfect timing. The perfect time is the moment you decide to act. When you decide to act, you are no longer a passive observer in your own life. You are the creator. You are the one who shapes the future, who makes things happen. And when you choose to act, you shift your life into high gear. Think about the possibilities. When you take that first step, you open the door to your potential. You create momentum. You create movement. You create change. And that change, it's unstoppable. Because momentum doesn't stop once it gets going. It propels you forward to heights you never imagined. But only if you act. This is your moment. This is your chance. Stop waiting for the world to hand you success. It's not going to happen. You have to grab it yourself. You have to take action, no matter what. Because the truth is, your life won't change until you do. Right now, you have everything you need to succeed. You have the power to make today the turning point. It's not too late. It's never too late. All you have to do is choose to act. So what will it be? Will you act? Will you take control of your destiny? Step forward with purpose and create the life you've always wanted. Because your future is waiting, and it starts with you acting now.